welcome back folks to another episode of MLM and a little bit of an unboxing video. So I've had this delivered from Amazon. It's not a donation, it's something I've purchased. So let's have a look, see what we've got in the box. And it is the workstation for the Dremel. So as I say, I purchased this off Amazon along with a couple of Dremel chucks. So I'm going to have a go at putting this workstation together. I'll get the box out, get it on the bench, and we'll see how long it takes to assemble this little beast. So I'll be back in a few. Cheers. So there we go, this is the Dremel Workstation. I'm a big fan of using the Dremel tools. I'm not one of the salesmen by any stretch of the imagination, and I don't get anything from Dremel, but I've seen this advertised on a couple of YouTube videos and I thought, yes, I could make use of that. So let's get it unboxed. Let's see what's in here. Hopefully it's not battered, there's no damaged parts. A bag of bits, a pole, instructions for the over 50s. A base. Chuck that out of the way. So there is our parts. Let's see if we can get it assembled. So I'll be back in a few when I've just had a quick look at the manual, because that's the worst thing that men do, is pick up the manual and throw it away. I'm going to have a look at this first and I'll be back in a sec. I'll catch you in a few. Cheers. Okay, so there are no instructions, it's just text inside there. So let's see if we can figure this out. So the pole, it's an extendable pole here that we've got, and that's going to go into this base, and there is a nut and bolt, and I think once it's in, you tighten the bolt up to the pole. There's no hole for it to go through, so yeah. Let's put that on. Let's put that on first. Then I'll put that in first. Okay. Put the pole in. Tighten up the bolt, and lo and behold, yes, it tightens it up. The spanner is not the correct size to tighten up the heads of the bolt, but we'll find one of those. Okay, twist and turn to hold that up. The actual attachment comes in a horizontal position, slides on, and at the back there is a little wing nut or wing bolt where you can rotate in increments of 15 degrees, and I've now realised I've got it on upside down. So this is all on the fly, folks. That looks much better. We'll be pointing in the right direction. So yeah, you can rotate this so that you can have your Dremel pointing out to one side rather than vertically. So we'll push that down. So far so good. There's the nut, well, the bolt to tighten it up, and I think you pinch it in place, stop the rotation with this wing bolt on the back. We've then got, coming up next, I think they refer to it as a crow's nest for your spanner to fit in, and that just slides on, I hope, like so. All good stuff. We certainly need to tighten this pole up a bit more. And there's recesses in the top to put your Dremel tools in. So we'll be doing that at some point. Next, we have an attachment to go into the small pole on top, like so. Okay. So getting this in there is not so easy. So I'm going to get a little tapping mallet, as you do. If in doubt, give it a clout. Everything is moving. What I will do is add this handle on the back that I now realise also needs putting on before you put the attachment on the pole. It was all going so well. So off she comes. Thanks for the instructions there, Dremel. So there's a thread, there's a hole at the back for this handle to go on in. That tightens up to the nut. Then you put the attachment on. Then you can tighten it up. I'm going to cut for a moment while I get a spanner for that. So I'll be back in a moment. So after much faffing about, we've got ourselves a little wrench to tighten up our stand. Like so. I've also realised that I was trying to insert this part the wrong way around. It doesn't go that way at all. It goes that way, which makes a lot more sense and fits a lot better. and then on top of there goes the final piece. So that can now come out. It can tighten up by twisting it. You can then put it upright, and if you've got a Dremel Flexi extension, it can hang from the top, or if you want to hang another Dremel, you can use this little bracket to hold it in place. Well, there we go, that's that. Sorry if I'm making a bit of an ash of this, folks. Proved to be a little bit more tricky than I thought. So here's our, I'm using a Dremel 8220, the cordless version. So we'll just whip off the collar. So you can screw it down. Okay. So that screws into place, like so. So there's the bottom end, and now what I can do is if I move the Dremel up slightly, hold that in place there, we can take one of our newly purchased chucks and there we go. I don't think that fits. No, that doesn't fit, so that looks like that's it. So there we go, the Dremel Workstation accessory. And of course, the benefit of using this is if you want to turn the Dremel, you can then drop it all the way down, tighten it back up, take that out, put a collet back in. Let's get one of our Dremel accessories. Like a little sanding wheel. And there you go. You've got a sander as well. So pretty pleased with that, and that would be great for also putting Y wheels in, diamond bits in there. So I'm going to look forward to using this on a couple of projects. I hope that's been of some use to anybody who wants to know how to put one of these things together, and probably you'll do it better than I did. A bit of a mishmash, to be honest. But there we go, so the Dremel Workstation. Welcome back, folks, to an update on the build update. And after a couple of days of using the Dremel, I found out a couple of things that I didn't mention in the first part of this video. The spanner, that seems to have no use whatsoever, is an important part of this setup. You saw me screwing the Dremel in to a thread that's at the base of this holder. Well, that's not right, is it? It's obviously tightened up with the spanner, and there's a nut at the bottom. So let's just undo that. And this was down to purely my incompetence. Well, I was not being fair on the actual device itself. So, take two, you insert your Dremel into the holder, get it into position, and initially you can tighten this up by hand. You'll feel the thread bite when you've got it in the correct position. And then you can tighten it up with said important spanner. Right, so I've got it set. I haven't got the nuts tightened at the back. And there you go. So you don't need to turn it on. You don't need to twist it in at all. You can insert it and then tighten it up with a screw at the base. So let's move it up and put it back in its vertical position. Like so. Make sure everything's tightened off. It appears that there's a lot of fiddling about with this, but once you've got it set up how you want it, then you probably won't be moving it much, to be fair. One thing I didn't mention was there is a depth gauge guide on the side, so you can drop that down to wherever you want it. And it will prevent the Dremel from obviously moving past a certain point. If you've used a drill press before, that's not new to you. The crow's nest, as I said, you can fill with Dremel tools. So I've done that. What I'll also do is rotate this back and show you how I intend to have mine set up. So let's get that tightened. Bring it all the way to the bottom. Tighten it up. Right, so, and then I went to, I can't remember whether it was Tool Station or Screwfix, and got some of these mini G clamps. And then what you can do is to put them onto your bench and just tighten them up, and it will hold your Dremel in place. Like so. And it just gives you a sturdy base to work to. I mean, my desk is used for all kinds of things. It's my workbench, my editing bench. I do pretty much everything on here. So with using these G clamps, it just means that I can move the Dremel off quite easily, and it becomes portable. So I think that's pretty much it. It won't be much use for something like the Dremel Micro, because the thread is different. I'm pretty sure it's different. Well, I know it is. This is a different size thread, different setup altogether, but that's not the reason that I bought it for. I brought it for the standard size Dremel. I will post on the end of this video how much it cost and a link to it, or show you where you can find it. I've used it now a couple of times. I've used it in a video already for putting a grinding accessory in the bit at the end, and I used it for getting axles off. I think it's going to be useful, especially for things like wire wheels, diamond cutters, things like that. You'll find many uses, and yeah, I like it. It's going to be pretty beneficial to me, but each to their own. We've all got our own way of doing things. But I think it was around about 36 quid, if I remember rightly. A nice little investment that doesn't cost you, an arm and a leg. And if I come up with any further updates, I'll do another additional video to this. So thanks for watching. I know that a couple of people have asked me about it, so there you go. I hope this proves useful. Hopefully you can make, as I said in the first part, a better job of putting it together and learn from my mistakes. But at the end of the day, I managed to get it together, like it, going to be using it. So I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.